Here are two quick reviews of sequels to excellent books I read in 2024. Having enjoyed the first Hap and Leonard novel by Joe R. Lansdale, I was happy to return to impoverished East Texas and see what was happening in Mucho Mojo. This time around, Hap and Leonard discover a decomposing body under the house of Leonard's late Uncle Chester. Wanting to clear him of any suspicion, the two men begin a clandestine investigation with the help of the lawyer Florida Grange, and uncover a series of child disappearances and murders that has been happening for decades. Thematically, this book is about friendship, as these two men undertake this dangerous investigation for no sake than each other. They cover their weariness and general disappointments in life with sarcasm and insults, but their actions and their faith in one another proves their loyalty and commitment. As with Savage Season, the humor here is constant and sharp, especially in the early portions of the book, which helps because the first quarter or so of the novel is the least focused. The central characters are much like the small East Texas town they live in. Despite trying to do the right thing, they are getting left behind by the yuppie-driven Reaganomics that put us on the path of extreme wealth inequality with which we're still struggling. Lansdale's writing is precise, explaining white flight in a single sentence, whereas it often takes whole chapters of a sociology textbook. The lives of these characters also go some distance to explain why they fight so hard and hold on so tightly to things like a small house in a bad part of town, with a reputation of an honest man. While I didn't like it as much as Savage Season, I think Mucho Mojo is a great continuation of the series that strengthens the bonds between the protagonists, while setting them against a dangerous opponent and growing the setting too. A Storm of Wings is M. John Harrison's follow-up to The Pastel City. Set decades after the events of the first novel, Veraconium is again threatened, but this time by an unknown, inhuman force. People despair that the world might be ending, and a cult following the sign of the locust gains converts by preaching that the real world is an illusion, that annihilation will bring freedom. The source of the trouble seems to originate from off the northern coast, where allegedly something detached from the moon and came to Earth. To face this apocalyptic, reality-warping threat, the Queen of Veraconium has her best allies on hand launch an expedition to discover the nature of this menace and defeat it if at all possible. My summary does the book a bit of a disservice because it does not get into the nuance of the story, but it is also magnitudes of order more coherent than reading the novel. Harrison's prose is dense and lyrical, but that also means it frequently gets in the way of the story, and the plot and characters frequently fade into the background. If you pick up this book thinking it will be a sharp, thoughtful piece of heroic dying earth fantasy like The Pastel City, you are going to be disappointed. To be sure, the adventurous plot against nearly impossible odds is still in here, but you may not realize it as you wade through Harrison's verbosity. Similarly, the language and the story become increasingly surreal as incompatible perspectives on the nature of reality come into conflict, but you might not notice it, just like you might not notice the body horror and psychological horror that ramps up in the late chapters, as does the inquiry into the fluid yet defining nature of memory. For me, this novel requires more than just paying attention to the text. It makes great demands on the reader's attentiveness and focus to wade through some of the more labyrinthine style, and I'm not certain that it pays adequate rewards. I got just as much, if not more, out of The Pastel City compared to A Storm of Wings. but your mileage may vary. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my peculiar notions. If you appreciate this channel and want to support it, you know what to do. You can also take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel of another YouTube creator you enjoy, or the algorithm will flood you with AI-generated sequels of the most rancid quality. Until next time, enjoy some good books, live, and be well.